Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Singularity LED watch. This is a very interesting, quirky watch that you can find online through vendors like Amazon or eBay for sub 20 bucks depending on where you look, and it comes in a number of different colors. The main design is the same, and it displays your time in a binary way where you have to add up the minutes as well as the hours to get a correct reading. You can also program it so that it shows the time automatically after every, for instance, 10 hours or so, it's going to light up by itself. So there's a few settings that you can play around with. If we take a quick look at the design of the watch first, it does have this silicone band, which is pretty comfortable. It's adjustable, and it's a one-size-fit-all type band that allows you to wear it. And there's also, again, these pins that you can pop on for a tighter or looser fit. And the watch itself is made out of this aluminum chassis in addition to glass on the front here, so it does have a pretty good construction quality. It's quite hefty in terms of the weight, pretty similar in dimensions to the Apple Watch as well. You can see the edges do have this interesting curve to it, along with the back, which is also made out of aluminum. As far as resistancy goes, this one is water resistant but not waterproof, so make sure that you don't submerge it in water fully, such as taking it for a swim, and you should be fine. But all in all, really the construction quality here is quite good. When you're ready to take a look at the watch, you can see there are two keys on the sides. One for setting, these will correspond to the settings. So when you first get it, you can change the minutes and the hours one by one. But whenever you want to access and just read the clock or the time, you can tap on any of these keys and you can see it lights up. The LEDs themselves are actually quite bright, even under pretty good daylight and brighter environments. You can still see it to a pretty good extent, so no issues there. So again, this uses a binary format, so you can see that there is an H here which indicates the hour. So all of these LEDs will correspond to the hour and change. So for instance, if the 1 over here and the very top here, which is 8, since it's going by binary, right? So it's 1, 2, 4, 8 lights up. It means that you have to add the 1 and the 8 together, so you know that it's 9, and either AM or PM will be lit up over here, so it's either the morning or the night. So you just do a bit of addition there, and it's really clever because binary representations, just by adding these various bases together, gets you all of the numbers that you need for representing our time. So on the bottom here, there's the minutes that's labeled here with an M here. So pretty easy to use. Same concept here, but it's a bit more complicated since, again, we can have up to 1 minute or up to 59 minutes depending on the time, right? So if we tap on this again, you can see I can change between 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, or 1. Right now, 16 and 2 is lit up. So if we add those together, we know that we have 18. So it means that right now, for instance, we have a time of 9:18, and depending on if we look here, it says it's PM. So that is how it works. So pretty easy to use. Takes a little bit of time to get used to, no pun intended, but after a while you will be able to kind of add these things up very quickly, and since it is using binary, it is fairly swift and easy to get used to, I have to say. So as far as operation goes, it does a pretty good job. But other than that, it's really not a smartwatch in any sense. It doesn't display any text messages. It doesn't vibrate whenever you get a new call or a message. It doesn't have Bluetooth. Doesn't sync up to your phone. But I have been impressed with the battery life performance of this because I actually got this roughly 2 years ago, believe it or not, and I've been using it and testing it throughout, and it's still pretty good in terms of battery life and performance. It uses a very simple cell-based CR2032 battery that can be easily replaced, but it seems like after a few years of usage, because it's using energy efficient LEDs, it still works fine. So maybe this might be more energy efficient than a traditional LCD or LED watch that has a really static or dynamic display that has to be popped open and on all the time versus something like this, which can be turned off, just uses simple lights. So if you are concerned about battery performance, this might be something that is actually a plus here, even though it can't be physically recharged. Now, there are a few quick downsides. For one, you can't actually set an alarm. So there is no speaker on here, not even a mono beep speaker. So you can't set a very basic kind of wake up alarm on here. Really just meant as a display for your time. And in the same way that a Nixie watch is interesting, this is also interesting. It's a conversation starter, but a lot more low cost and a low price, and perhaps more practical for a lot of people out there. You can tap on it twice there to go through the settings for changing when the clock is displayed automatically and for setting things up for the very first time. So quick, I guess, a video first look and video review of this interesting binary based watch that you might want to consider picking up this holiday season, maybe as a gift, just because it is very low cost and very expensive, but at the same time has a pretty good construction quality, and more importantly, it's very interesting. It's different, and it's going to be a conversation starter. So if you're not into the whole smart watch fad at the moment, this might be something that you would want to consider instead. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This is